Tina is a newly married young woman who always talked about a perfect marriage at every given opportunity. Sometimes she would talk for hours, sharing more than she realized. Most of the singles around her would listen to her with wide eyes, envious of her loving husband. One afternoon, Tina paid Ruby and Ugochi a visit. As usual, she started talking about her husband. Kelechi is so caring, she said. He always makes sure I'm happy. He buys me flowers, brings me breakfast in bed, and we talk about everything. I'm so lucky to have him. Look, you guys should get serious and get married too, she said, pointing to them. Ruby and Ugochi exchanged glances, but Tina didn't notice. After a few hours, she remembered that her husband promised to be home early. She stood up to take her leave, while Ruby saw her off. Ruby came back and saw that Ugochi was looking grumpy. I don't need to ask you, Ugochi. I know your mood is about what Tina said about us to go and get married. Seriously, she is beginning to annoy me, Ugochi replied. Our marriage is this, our marriage is that. For Christ's sake, she is only married for a few months. She needs to relax. Ruby then persuaded Ugochi to ignore Tina. At Kelechi and Tina's residence, Tina and her husband were seated to have dinner. While Kelechi served the food, Tina brought out her phone and took some pictures of the sumptuous meal they were about to have. Then, she posted it on her page. About a few days later, Ruby and Tina were in the salon. At the section where they were sitting, another young lady who seemed to be minding her business was also seated. She was admiring a new hairstyle, so she brought out her phone to do a video coverage of it, while Ruby and Tina were having their conversation. Tina, I need you to teach me that menu you posted on your page. Babes, the moment I saw it, I was salivating. Tina giggled a bit and told Ruby that it was her husband who prepared the meal. She blushed about his good culinary skill and said she couldn't even remember the last time she cooked. Even my laundry, she added. Wow, your husband does your laundry? Ruby asked. Including my Hondas. Your Hondas? Seriously, Tina, if I were you, I would ensure to do all it takes to keep the man away from the eyes of other women, so they won't snatch him away from you. I bet they can't, Tina replied. Ruby, most of our young women won't be able to cope with the bedroom side of Kelechi. How do you mean? Ruby asked. Tina took some few minutes before responding. Kelsey is a good husband, but, sometimes I wish he could be a bit more energetic. I mean, it's been a few months now and he is still not as spontaneous as I thought he would be in the bedroom. She said, her face looking kind of worried. Ruby was quiet for a moment. Maybe you should talk to him about it, she suggested. Tina continued to speak about her husband's habits and things that are more personal than she should have. The next morning, Tina woke up to messages from friends and family. Most of them were worried. Tina, are you okay? People are talking about your marriage. Everyone kept calling. Tina was lost. She had no idea what they were talking about. But when she checked her phone, she saw people who tagged her on social media. Her story was online, including a video record. Everything she shared with Ruby about her husband's bedroom habits were all posted online. Her heart sank. A few relatives of Kelechi had reached out to him on the issue. Kelechi felt really humiliated by his wife, Tina. Tina quickly called Casey, but he didn't pick up. Panic set in. She tried again and again, but there was no answer. Her chest tightened. What would he think of me now? What would his family say? She asked herself. When Kelechi finally returned in the evening, Kelechi's face was serious, his eyes filled with disappointment. I saw the whole video. Why would you say such humiliating things about me to your friends and the public? Tina felt her throat tightened. Wells failed her. Casey, I didn't mean it that way, she explained. It was just a conversation with Ruby. I never thought it would be shared like that. Kelechi shook his head. It doesn't matter how it got out, Tina. What matters is that you shared personal things about your marriage. It's humiliating to know that you were talking about me like that to other people. Angrily, he walked away. Tina thought, how could Ruby do a recording and carelessly take it to the internet? But after much deliberation and going back to rewatch the video, they realized that it was the other lady who was recording a new hairstyle that recorded it. Days passed and the scandal grew. A lot of people criticized her. The gossip had become a wave. Tina's in-law came so hard for her, and it was threatening to their marriage. Kelechi became more distant. Their once loving conversations turned into silence. He began to spend more time outside. Sometimes, he doesn't even come home to sleep. Before Tina knew it, another lady had gotten pregnant for Casey. Tina tried to make things right, but the damage had been done. Tina was heartbroken. She had never imagined that a conversation with her friend would cost her one thing she cherished most, her marriage. She would never forget the price she paid for speaking too freely. She learned the hard way. So, the lesson was clear. In marriage, privacy is power. What people do not know, they cannot ruin.